Guys, so my personal experience with like developing a good core, I realized like perhaps there's not just one way of doing things, it's just certain ways aid in certain results. So I see a lot of guys working out at the gym, they grab this machine right here, and this is what they do. Just like so much movement, just tons of motion, or this, just rocking it. If you want to get good abs, it's just like your chest. You have to isolate it. It has to go through ranges of motion. And ideally, you only use motion when you no longer can push yourself with proper form. So it's almost like your aid or your support. So how I would approach it, heavy emphasis on the elbows, like digging them deep, rolling my back, and just hanging. Like your body should be dead, right? And you'll feel decompression of the spine. Here, I'll get into position, I'll anchor myself. The only thing that's strong right now in terms of tension is my elbow and my hand. Everything else is loose, and I just focus on the pelvic tuck. I'm not raising my legs, I'm lifting my body, almost like an inverted plank, and just focusing on the pelvic tuck and that contraction. And when I can't go any longer because it's too hard, I'll stop, and here is where I'll focus on the curls. Now, look at my back, how arched it is, right? I don't think you really engage the abs that much in this position unless you did what I said, or you come up straight, you lock yourself, and here you have more range of motion of what you can do. You can do knee raise, you can do gymnast tuck, which I really like because it really focuses on that pelvic tuck. And then here, guys, oh, it hurts, it hurts. Perfect, it hurts. Take a breather, maybe stretch. And then we still have to what? Push ourselves. So we do a drop set. Come here. And we're gonna do some crunches. So this is another device. I see people that don't know how to properly use it. They put their feet up here and they don't have a lot of core strength. So it's not really helping. So ideally, blocking your feet, as this will aid in you not having a strong core. So there's multiple ways you can approach this. How I like to train, because I feel like it gives more volume to the abs, is almost getting in that toad crunch position. Because what you're doing here is you're not engaging your hip flexors. So if you have weak hip flexors, this is a great idea, but don't do it all the time because you have weak hip flexors. You have to get strong hip flexors. But the idea here is no tension in the hip flexors, hands here, almost like just resting them. And I come up slowly and I hold it. And if it's too hard, aid yourself with the feet or use a little momentum. And then once you can't go anymore, take a second break, go up, and then come slowly down and work on those negatives. And now, if you can't go any longer, here is where you can do all the movement, because it's already burnout, right? You don't want to start doing this, right? Or like harder variations of it, because the idea is to progressively overload how hard it is at the beginning. Because if I start doing this at the beginning, I'd be here 15 minutes just humping myself away to oblivion, you know what I'm saying? And that's not what you want to do. Also, it depends on how you want to shape your abs, right? So abs can be flat, abs can pop out, you can grow the width, the girth of the abdominal muscles. So if I didn't like the aesthetic of my muscle, right? Because I felt like it was popping too much, or my top muscles, the height of it wasn't as big as I wanted them, I would focus on stretching. So I'd come after this session right here, and I would focus on opening myself up and just decompressing. And here slowly, just like small crunches, and focusing on that stretching. And this is good if you're a guy. If you're a woman, you kind of want to have more of an approach of toning, not like volume. So if I were a woman, this is what I would do. 2 exercises. I would come here after my session, stretch, elongate the muscle, and then come here on the bench and focus almost on negative motion and focusing on that pelvic tuck. And you're contracting there the abdominals. This can also be a great variation for guys that aren't as strong to complete the other exercise. This would be something I would be engaging in. Because if you get good at proper contraction and being able to isolate the pelvis and getting that tuck, and when you're coming up, you're not thrusting yourself, you're slowly compressing yourself and squeezing the abs. If you don't squeeze the abs and you squeeze the abs, you're not gonna feel it. So it's all about peak contraction, guys. That's some saucy sauce for all the dojo bros that wanna get some abs.